The Ratnas, or the Nine Gems, was a term used for 9 individuals with extraordinary talents in various fields, who served in an emperor's court in Bharat. Today, the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, has also adopted a similar style of the Ratna delegation.
Somewhere Europe has to grow out of the mindset that Europe's problems are the world's problems. But the world's problems are not Europe's problems.
The politics is an instrument of socio-economic reform.
Problem? Why should it be a problem? If I'm smart enough to have multiple options, you should be admiring me. You shouldn't be criticizing.
Don't feel any pressure. Modi's government doesn't feel the pressure. We are the 5th largest economy in the world.
Many of the Modi government's cabinet ministers have earned a name for themselves, from Ajit Doval's strategic doctrine of defensive offense to Nitin Gadkari's transformative infrastructure projects to Jaishankar's diplomatic prowess. They have been commended for their performances, and not just the second-term 2019 cabinet, the 2014 cabinet as well. This points out a very important quality of good leadership: delegation, the ability to pick the right people for the right job. And a few leaders like Modi have mastered this quality, but there's a unique way in which he has to make it happen. To understand the Modi art of delegation, we must first understand India's system for cabinet selection. India follows the parliamentary system, a model it was more familiar with, thanks to the British. Now, the merits and demerits of presidential and parliamentary systems could be debated for a long time, but when it comes to this particular aspect of cabinet selection, the scales lean in favor of the presidential system. In a presidential system, members of the cabinet are chosen by the president. For example, in America, President Joe Biden's cabinet includes Vice President Kamala Harris, along with the heads of the 15 executive departments. So, the president can appoint the most talented people to the cabinet. This isn't the same case in a parliamentary system like India, where electability is an important factor. While members of the Lok Sabha, the lower house of parliament, are elected directly by the voters, members of the Rajya Sabha, the upper house of the parliament, are elected indirectly by the people, i.e. by the elected members of the state legislative assemblies. Meaning, if not elected into either the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, they cannot become a cabinet minister. So, in the parliamentary system, no matter how talented or capable someone is, to become a cabinet minister, he or she has to be a member of either of the houses of the parliament, for which they need to get politically elected. Because of this difference in the parliamentary system, the skills to get politically elected may not be the same skills to run the ministry and become a capable minister. But this is where Modi developed his trademark style of delegation, by bringing the specialists on board through the Rajya Sabha. Much like the Navratnas, the specialists are people with proven track records in their respective fields. Modi realized that certain important ministries like external affairs need special expertise, which a purely political person cannot offer. Plus, with Modi, who has himself become this larger-than-life figure for the Indian voter, he can keep recruiting more talents into the cabinet without having them worry about getting elected, so they can focus on the job at hand while he absolves them of the need to get politically elected. Many ministers, such as External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, are brought in through the Rajya Sabha, where unlike the Lok Sabha, they don't have to fight elections themselves. Their party takes care of that with the MLAs. Although there are similar examples of such specialists who were brought into India's cabinet through the Rajya Sabha, former PM Manmohan Singh too was brought on board as the finance minister in 1991, when India had foreign reserves barely enough to meet 2 weeks' worth of imports. Even though Modi became the prime minister in 2014, in his first tenure, he was still considered new amongst the other senior leaders of the BJP like Arun Jaitley and Sushma Swaraj, which led to them holding important portfolios in the cabinet. So, Modi might not have had the influence to bring on board whichever specialists he wanted. To shape India's military and security policy, he picked India's most decorated spy, a man who'd proven himself on the field and at the desk, Ajit Doval. With Doval at the helm, India adopted his defensive offense strategy. In 2019, he was even extended the rank of cabinet minister in his second stint as National Security Advisor. And in 2024, he again retained his rank in the Modi 3.0 cabinet. In his second term, after winning with an overwhelming majority, Modi shifted gears again, realizing the need of more experts. His first pick of a specialist was a fresh bureaucrat turned politician who would go on to become a social media sensation in India. Jaishankar proved his diplomatic prowess in articulating India's pragmatic position in the Russia-Ukraine war. But his biggest achievement came in February 2024, when India rescued 8 Indian Navy personnel from Qatar. Then in July 2021, in the cabinet reshuffle, Modi upped the ante by bringing more bureaucrats aboard. He promoted Hardeep Singh Puri, who had previously served as the permanent representative of India to the United Nations, and made him in charge of the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. His was an important role which helped India secure its energy requirements during the Russia-Ukraine war. Former Union Home Secretary Raj Kumar Singh was given the responsibility of the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, and Ashwini Vaishnaw was appointed as the Minister of Electronics and Information Technology and Minister of Communications. Later, Railways was also added to his portfolios. All of them are former diplomats or bureaucrats. Many of them have retained their portfolios in the Modi 3.0 cabinet. Modi's fondness for bureaucrats is quite well known. He has long depended on them to recruit capable talents to politics. In fact, on various occasions, he has himself addressed the bureaucrats to work for the people instead of the government in power.
एक ब्यूरोक्रेट के तौर पर, एक सरकारी कर्मचारी के तौर पर, अब आपको अपने हर निर्णय में कुछ सवालों का अवश्य ध्यान रखना ही पड़ेगा.
But it's not just the Modi cabinet. The PMO office has a burgeoning number of bureaucrats. Modi's former principal secretary during the term from 2014 to 2019, Nipendra Misra, and his current principal secretary, P.K. Mishra, are both IAS officers. Many of the PMO officers, like Bhaskar Kolbi, T.V. Somanthahan, Tarun Bajaj, and A.K. Sharma, were hand-picked by Modi himself. Almost all the PMO officials, from advisors to additional secretaries and joint secretaries, have been former civil servants. In 2018, Shantikanta Das, widely regarded as one of India's most powerful civil servants, was appointed as the RBI governor. But that's not all. The Modi government's roster of national spokespersons is second to none. Sudhanshu Trivedi, Sambit Patra, Shahzad Poonawalla, Nalin Kohli are some of the spokespeople who have regularly made appearances on national television. The team is made up of economists, lawyers, Supreme Court advocates, civil servants, and even Rajya Sabha MPs. Critical thinking, up-to-date knowledge of history, politics, everyday happenings, tonality, and debating skills are very important skills for spokespeople. They have outclassed not only their counterparts from opposition, but also the anchors on numerous occasions and have hence proved to be valuable assets for the media teams. From the cabinet to Prime Minister's office to his media team, Modi has been pretty successful at hand-picking the right people for the job, and they have gone on to produce excellent results for him. He had highlighted that he was successful as the Chief Minister of Gujarat because of his delegation.
मेरे पास कोई काम नहीं है जी, मैं कोई काम सरकार का नहीं करता हूँ. मेरी टीम को मैं काम दे दिया है, सभी मंत्री स्वतंत्र हैं. हाँ, हम सप्ताह में एक दिन बैठते हैं, सब मिलकर के डिस्कस करते हैं, इवैल्यूएट करते हैं और फिर आगे बढ़ते हैं.
This was said in an interview before Modi became the Prime Minister in 2014, and since then, he has been able to back it up.